Hi, this is Louise from Happiest Hounds Dog Training, and here's a short presentation to show you what you need to bring to your puppy classes. So the first thing to remember, the most important, is your puppy, of course. A flat collar. So what I mean by a flat collar is one that sits flat on your puppy's neck and quite wide as well. So these collars are my favourites. They're from a company called Tuff Stuff. That's Tuff Stuff, and they're online. And we want to be able to fit about 2 fingers underneath the collar, between the collar and the puppy's neck. No more, because then a puppy could slip their collar, and no less, because then it's going to be too tight. If you have a dog with quite a lot of fur, so a fluffy neck, then these collars are absolutely fine. They're called a martingale. But the way they must be fitted is when they're fully tightened, like it is in this picture, you can still fit 2 fingers underneath the collar, between the collar and the puppy's neck. That's really important. We don't want it to tighten around the puppy's neck and feel uncomfortable, so we still need to fit 2 fingers underneath the collar. If it is wide, then it can go over the puppy's neck, but that's the point, that it doesn't flatten the fur when you use a collar like this if you have a fluffy dog. A comfortable harness. Now, harnesses aren't essential. However, I do like harnesses in addition to the collar. And if you do have your dog in a harness, please ensure that it is a fixed harness. And what I mean by that is that it doesn't tighten at any point when the dog pulls. This is an example of a fixed harness. It's made by a company called Dog Games, and it's called a Perfect Fit harness. I like these for puppies because they come in 3 different sections and you can get the right fit for your dog. But what I'm looking for is a harness that fits your dog comfortably and doesn't tighten at any point. A lead, you want a flat lead that's comfortable to hold. The leads pictured here are ideal because they're nice and long. They're about 2 meters in length. They're nice and comfortable to hold. And if you have a small puppy, then the thin leads here are perfect. They're nice and light. And for larger dogs, then this is a wider version, and these are great leads. We just ask that you don't bring any flexi leads to class because they can pose a bit of a safety problem, and ideally no chain leads either because they can be rather quite heavy for the dog. So treats, really important. We use reward-based methods in classes, and we use lots of your dog's favourite foods so we can reinforce them for behaviours that we want them to repeat. So a mixture of their normal dried food, if they're on dried food, mix it in with a soft meat like hot dog or chicken, whatever doesn't upset their tummy. And if cheese is okay for them as well, if that doesn't upset their tummy, we can use that as well. I do find that basic mild cheese is best because it doesn't tend to crumble too much. And when you chop up any of their food for treats in classes, make sure it's ever so small. So really, really tiny pieces of food. And please bring lots, bring more than you even think you're going to need. Also bring your dog's own water bowl from home or a travel water bowl. And the reason I ask this is that I can provide water bowls and I always have spares of everything. However, if we want your dog to have a drink, I want them to feel comfortable drinking out of a bowl that's familiar. Dogs' sense of smell is up to 100,000 times more sensitive than ours, and if they're going to take a drink out of an unfamiliar bowl, they're getting bombarded with scents that may make them feel a little bit strange. They may not care, but bring in your own water bowl. It's an easy thing to do, and if it makes your dog feel more comfortable, then I think it's something that we should consider. Also, bring a bed for them to settle on in class. Don't worry about bringing anything posh. If you have a really nice, expensive bed at home, don't bring that. Even a towel would be fine. So a piece of vet bed, a towel, or a small travel bed is perfect. And that's so that it's familiar to your puppy and it smells like home. So poo bags, you won't have any item of clothing without poo bags in the pocket, I'm sure. And it's just to mention that my favourite type of poo bags are Sainsbury's nappy sacks. I do find them to be the best ones. Of all the things that you want to be right, it's definitely poo bags. So Sainsbury's nappy sacks, I do find are the best type of poo bags. Something else that's important to bring along to each class is a stuffed Kong toy. So Kongs are absolutely brilliant. You can get different types of Kong toys. This is a teething stick pictured here, and then the classic Kong next to it. And you can stuff them with food, so you can put in your normal dog's food if they're on dried food, if they're on raw, or if they're on a paste, then you can spoon that in as well. And you could put some treats like cheese in there too. Primula cheese, if they're like, so the squeezy cheese you can get from the supermarket. If their tummy's okay, this is a great one to squidge on the top or inside the classic Kong or along these grooves of the teething stick, and it's something your dogs are most likely to like licking, and it can help them feel nice and calm, and it's a great thing to help them settle when they're first in class. So please bring along a couple of toys as well. Even if your dog doesn't play with toys, that's fine, because the scent from home will hopefully make them feel nice and comfortable. These fleecy tuggy toys are brilliant, and these are a handmade type of toy, and I have a friend who makes them for a couple of pounds. So if there's something you're interested in, let me know. And they're brilliant for nice gentle play for puppies. So just to summarise what to bring to each class: your puppy, a flat collar, a comfortable harness, a lead, no flexi or chain leads please, plenty of treats, mixing in your puppy's dried food with cheese, chicken or hot dog, a travel water bowl, a bed that they can settle on in class, poo bags, a stuffed Kong toy, and your puppy's favourite toy. We look forward to seeing you in class. Thanks for listening.